Hello, I'm Marina and the Diamonds and welcome to FAQin Hell. This is my first web chat or video chat in about 3 years. I wanted to do it because I like communicating with you in a genuine way, and so for the past 2 days I've asked you to tweet me some questions to answer. So I've picked my favourites. The first one, which is an absolute classic, is from Lorenzo's Jewels, and he says, Marina, why are your boobs so big? Well, Lorenzo, I am half Greek, half Welsh, and Mediterranean women are quite often very curvy, so it is a genetic reason and nothing else. Both sides of the family have boobs. At jock_bass says, Marina, would you call Fruit your best work so far? Now, I think all artists, when they do an album, they say, oh my God, this is my best work so far. However, I do feel like it is, because I feel like the first 2 albums were A, very different to each other, and B, were very much me still learning a lot about songwriting and about who I was as a person and as an artist. So I feel like with Fruit I've finally got it figured out. And not just that, I just feel like everything is, I don't know, it feels easy this time. It feels like effortless and fun and really enjoyable. So I hope you think it will be too. Rebecca says, are you going to have a world tour? When? Yes, I will. And I will be doing that world tour from October. So up until then, I'm just going to be doing festivals and a few select shows, which are for press and fans, very hardcore fans. But I hope I will be coming to places that I haven't toured before. For example, Greece, and also Latin America, and also Asia and Australia. You know, basically everywhere, but I just love performing and I love meeting people from other countries, so hopefully I'll be coming to your town. Now, Jag630 says, what is the role of suffering in existence? Is suffering necessary? How hard should I work to reduce suffering? Well, I feel like the role of suffering is there to make you appreciate pleasure and happiness and joy. So if you're happy all the time, it wouldn't mean anything to you. So the times that you suffer and that you're in pain are the times that you kind of, I suppose, build yourself as a person. Downton Hour says, did you feel like you were pretending to be someone you're not when you were Elektra Heart? 100% yes. I mean, there was obviously a lot of me in the album, but probably rather the cynical side of me. And also, I actually physically was pretending to be another person. So you all know how that turned out. Scotlandist said, if you could describe the new album in one word, what would it be? Juicy. Lolosh says, I can't tell if Marina's Diamonds is a heartbreaker or broken-hearted, both maybe. Of course, I have been both, and I think that most people will have been in their life. Downton Hour again says, what do you think your life would have been if you hadn't been an artist? I think I would have gone into advertising and marketing because I love putting together a package, as you might have known. It's something that comes very naturally to me and something that I'm very interested in. I love visuals as well. I'm a very visual person. So probably that, but if I had gone to university, I would have studied psychology. So maybe I would have been a shrink. Marina D. Official says, are you close with your sister? Yes, I am. My sister is a wonderful person. She's called Lafina. She's 33. She is a doctor, as well as many other things. Marina D Official again says, would you ever sing a song in Greek for all of your Greek diamonds? That is, after all, where you're from. Well, again, of course I would. I'll have to get my dad to help me select a good song. Oh, Maeve Has No Life asks, how are you just in general? Hope you're well. Well, Maeve, thank you very much for asking. I feel pretty good right now. I'm just starting promotion, which I've held off for 3 months so that I could just do my own thing and put the music out that I wanted in my own way without any fuss. But now I'm starting to do photo shoots, which I'm really enjoying. Gigs again, slowly. So, yes, I'm feeling very focused. Marina D Official, sorry, I just really like the questions, says, how did you get your middle name Lambrini? So in the UK we have a horrendous cheap wine, which is £2, and it's called Lambrini. In Greek it's actually Labrini, and it was my grand's name, who's very, very dear to me, and I was very close to her. So that's where I got it from, but it means someone who's full of light. So my next question is from CD Quijada. Are you going to do a meet and greet in this tour? Really want to take me a pic with you? I will sell my ass. Well, guess what, Quijada? You don't need to sell your ass because I do it for free. And as some fans will know, I always try and come out after every show. I've probably not come out maybe 4 or 5 times in my whole touring career. So yes, if I have energy, I'll come out. Again, Maeve Has No Life says, I saw a pic of you with emo hair. Did you ever go through an emo or goth phase? Well, when I first came to London, there were a lot of emos hanging around. And I was like, wow, what is this strange subculture? And I always used to see them in Camden looking very cool and moody. So I was never an emo, but I did try. And I tried for about 6 months, and then I had to leave the emo lifestyle behind me. It just wasn't working out very well. S. Diamondis says, will there be a fast song on the record? Yes, there will. It's not like Elektra Heart in that it's like dance, electro pop, but there is, I mean, here the upbeat ones are Forget, Blue, Better Than That, I guess, in a way. So yeah, if you're thinking stylistically, will there be any dance songs? Hell no. But there will be upbeat ones or up-tempo ones. Cass Leaks says, how do you balance a heavy workload with an active social life? Well, what I do is I limit the amount of times that I can get drunk per week. So it's very hard to be rock and roll as a girl. You can't go out and party and then get up in the morning and expect to look amazing and perform in a good way. So a little bit of self-restraint never did anyone any harm. FK Nut Caleb says, what has been the best experience in writing this album? I think being able to do it on my own, FYI, for those of you who don't know, I've written this entire record alone, which if any of you are into songwriting credits, you'll know is an incredibly rare thing at the moment in our musical landscape. So that's been the best experience. Actually not answering to anyone and me saying, hey, guess what? I'm going to do this record and you are not going to tell me how it's going to be. I am going to tell you how it's going to be. Again, CD Kijada says, did you like not being so famous? Well, Kishada, you really are asking all the important questions today. I would say that I like my level of recognition. Sometimes, if I go into town, I have makeup on, I get spotted by some nice fans, particularly in Topshop for some reason. And I usually enjoy chatting to people, but I also like to have the freedom to look like shit and go to Sainsbury or whatever supermarket that's out there and be able to just, buy toilet roll. So, I don't know if that answers your question. Yeah, I guess I do like not being so famous. Okay, Deanna says, on a scale of 1 to 10, how bad did middle school or high school suck for you? Well, I hate to disappoint, but I really liked both. There was only one year, which was year 11 in, I suppose, what you would call high school, that I didn't really like. I went to a girls' school, and girls just sometimes get a bit competitive and bitchy, especially when boys are involved. So that was the year that I already knew that I was going to move country and go to Greece, so it figured out pretty well. Gangster Bitch 0 says, your songs in Fruit are written with positive emotion and lyrics. Who or what changed you that way? I think it was a gradual change, but also felt like it happened overnight, if that makes sense. I think it was something that I wanted for a long time and something that I didn't have, or that I didn't feel. And to be quite honest, I was sick of feeling like shit. So I knew that something had to change in my life. And I didn't want to be sad anymore. So I changed a few things, and I kind of just asked myself, like, what do you not like about your day-to-day existence? What do you not like about yourself? And who are you really? Nuclear Perry says, what were your emotions throughout making an album? It's a good question. Don't know if I have an interesting answer. I guess I was very kind of single-minded, and I was very eager to get it right in terms of creating the album that I wanted to make. So working with one producer really facilitated that. Capivarino says, what was the most difficult song to be written on Fruit? Fruit was very difficult to write because it has many different stages. Sorry, this is a bottle cap. And I think the other one was Happy. Happy took a very long time to write because I kind of did the verse, and then the chorus was written like 3 months later. So it was very much a lyrical thing. It was just, if I don't know exactly what I want to say in a song, then sometimes it takes me a little bit longer to complete. V Wincup says, if you could sum up your career in one word, what would you choose? Messy, to be honest. It's all felt a little bit messy up until this point, but now I feel very clear. Alessandra Fritz says, why is Fruit spelled the way it is? Please explain. Okay, there's not like a big meaningful explanation to it. I just liked the way that it looked, and also I didn't want it to have the normal spelling because it sounded a bit serious, like fruit. So this one's more playful. It's quite childish, and also for me now, looking at it, it represents my visual my visual identity, which is blending artifice with nature, like having a big neon lip, or creating a very electronic live show with lots of fruits and flowers in it. Let's have a look. Jesus Graham says, aren't you going to do a remake of any unreleased song of yours? I don't think so, because for me, the point of writing, the point of releasing albums is not because I'm signed to Atlantic Records and I have to fulfill my contract or I have to, sell things or make money. It's because it's a way of documenting my life, and that's the truth. Even if I wasn't signed, I would still be doing this. So for me to release an old song would be strange, unless it was like a killer song. I don't think I would, because it's like old stories. So I want each album to be a chapter of where I'm at, so that when, if I reach 60 years old, I can look back and see, what happened in my life and understand who I am as a person. Okay, Kaya's Diamond says, what is your personal relation to Derick Davies? Well, I see you on Instagram and I see you commenting all the time about us being a couple. We're not. We're very good friends. And I've known him since 2008. So he's one of my best friends and he's not my boyfriend. David Diamond says, did you notice any changes in yourself as you wrote more and more of the album? And if so, what were they? Yeah, I think I grew more confident, especially with production and with songwriting. And I think David Costin definitely helped with that, because in the beginning, when I had said to my label, listen, I'm going to write this album on my own and I want to co-produce it, they were a little bit like, well, don't kind of put co-writing out of your sights just yet. You might want to try it. Don't be too black and white about things. And I was just like, whatever. I feel like I need to do this. So when I went to David and I played him my songs, he was very, very encouraging. And he was like, these are stellar and you're going to make a great album. Bear Nil now says, how much do you love your diamonds? Like, what is this love? Well, it's a special kind of relationship, because I can say I love you in that in terms of I feel a lot of affection for you. Obviously, I don't know you all, so I can't really genuinely say I love you. However, it's a very special, very, very special fan base, and that's all I have to say on that. Toxic Spears says, what is your favourite song from the album? Sorry. Favourite song from the album? Probably Better Than That, musically speaking. I love it so much. Like, I listen to it really regularly. Even though it's my music. And there's a song called Savages, which for me is really important. So maybe those two, but also Happy and Fruit I really like as well. Okay. Oh, this other one actually has had, a lot of people have been asking this. They say, what inspired Fruit of the Month? So the reason I did Fruit of the Month was for you guys, because I feel like I know you as a fan base quite well, and I really wanted to do something different that wouldn't make me feel so confined in terms of having to be commercial and having to worry about being played on the radio and I don't know, I suppose depending on exposure in that way. So even though, I love that and I need that, I think with Elektra I felt so burnt by it and so fucking tired that I just didn't want to do that anymore. So I created a strategy which involved, if you don't know, basically asking you to pre-order the album so that I could then send you one new track per month in 6 months leading up to the album release. So essentially you receive half the album before it's out. And of course with each Fruit of the Month I incorporate a visual world, scented vinyl that people can indulge themselves in and that I can create and have fun creating. So it was more to do with the type of album that I've created, and also, you know, how I wanted to function as an artist. I wanted to be independent, and this has enabled me to do that. So thank you so much if you've pre-ordered the album. I genuinely mean it. So Immortal Gold says, were you nervous for your driver's test? Did you have to parallel park? It's really hard, so props to you if you did. Yes, I was nervous. My foot was doing this. It was like doing this weird spasm, and I couldn't get it to stop. And also, anyone out there who hasn't taken their test, I was terrified. Like, there's a reason I took my test at 28 years old. 2008 Grande says, how do you deal with hate? Well, I think it just comes with age and getting a bit older, not really caring. You know, there are always going to be people who are disappointed with their own lives, so they're sending you mean tweets, but what can you do? I don't really care. Oh yeah, Leo Cleocat says, do you post the pictures and art people submit to your Planet Fruit Tumblr, or to someone else? I do it. I do it all. So, there. TestGuru says, who is doing the graphic design art direction for the album? There's a guy called Sam Coldy who is doing it, and he's wonderful. Sorry, I'm so thirsty. Fruitastic says, do you ever look at how your fandom is doing? Yes, I stalk you sometimes. Sometimes, if it's the dead of night and I can't sleep, I will go on my new followers and I'll just click on random people because I'm interested. Like, who are these random people all across the world just finding out about me? So, yes, I do check up on you. Poison Ivy says, what is your favourite album that you've made? Family Jewels, Elektra, or Fruit? It's very hard, but I think I would say Fruit. But I would only fairly be able to say maybe in a few years' time, once I've toured it and I have a less biased opinion. J.A. Carrillo says, how does it feel to be as fabulous as you are? Well, I don't feel fabulous all the time, but if I dress up and do my makeup and hair, then it feels really great. But sometimes I don't do that. A lot of the time I don't. I just wear joggers, like today. See? But I'm still feeling alright. Still feeling halfway fabulous. HQ Entity says, what's the most awkward interview you've suffered so far? There've been quite a few. Actually, the nice thing about this era so far is that all of the interviewers are asking good questions, which is like, hallelujah. But there was one actually in New York that I did last week, and they said, they asked me what my festival fashion must-have, whatever tip was, and I just said, if you live in the UK, then you bring a bin bag, like a black bin bag, to put over your head, in case it rains. And she didn't really get that. So that's been my worst of the past week. Okay, next. Jen the Diamond says, was the process of creating the Fruit era a longer or more difficult one than Elektra Heart? I would say it was easier and longer. Goro was taken says, can you pass me the link of the dildo you own? I want to buy exactly the same one. Well, Goro, I don't have a dildo, so you'll have to pick your own. Tiny Horn says, who's your... Sorry. Tiny Horn says, what is your biggest inspiration in music? I do have some musical idols, actually. Fiona Apple, Brody Dahl from the Distillers, Shirley Manson I love, PJ Harvey, Madonna, Patti Smith, women who were very uncompromising. Blue Savages says, how has your life changed since you left 679? Well, I actually didn't leave my record label 679. They basically didn't renew their contract. So it wasn't really a drama. It was just like, the label doesn't exist anymore and I'm now on Atlantic Records fully. Hey, David says, was it a conscious decision not to have other artists feature on any of your albums so far? Would you like to collab with anyone at the moment? Yes, it was a conscious decision, but in that I'm not really interested, usually, in doing collabs. However, there are specific people who I would love to collaborate with. One is Roixop. Who else? Brody Dahl, I would love to. And I have actually done a collab recently, so you'll find out that soon, probably. So I think that's it. I think that's it for now. Sorry, it's been a bit kind of, because I'm pre-recording it, it's a bit weird because I feel like I'm not actually speaking to you, but I'm just alone in this conference room. In my management office, so it feels a bit strange, but I hope you've enjoyed FAQin Hell. There will be another one. Thank you very, very much so far for your support. You are an incredible fan base, and I really hope you're gonna enjoy Fruit. I'm very, very excited for you to hear it, and the best is yet to come for sure. I'll see you next time.